Today, British prosecutors charged actor Kevin Spacey with 4 counts of sexual assault against 3 men. These new claims adding to a string of sexual abuse allegations made against the former House of Cards star, which started back in 2017 when actor Anthony Rapp accused the actor of sexual assault. So here to talk about these new charges Spacey is facing, entertainment reporter Sam Rubin from our Los Angeles station. Sam, thanks so much for joining us tonight. So we know that these alleged sexual assaults happened in 2005, 2008, and 2013. Do you know what kind of work was Spacey doing in London during that time?
Kevin Spacey was the artistic director of the Old Vic Theatre, a really prestigious, legitimate theater in the London area. And so he would spend considerable time in London. And thus, the timeline, at least of these charges, makes sense. He was there in England when these crimes took place.
You know, we know some of these latest allegations go back nearly 20 years at this point. Do you think we're going to start seeing more accusers come forward?
I think that's a very open question. Obviously, there are different parameters, the legal parameters for what happens in terms of investigations in the United States and in the United Kingdom. The fact that they are bringing these charges to the fore in the UK now, after all this time, suggests that they're open to it there. I don't know and can't really speak on what law enforcement officials are open to here. But Kevin Spacey, I think for a long period of time, it is alleged, behaved inappropriately in a variety of places, including on the set of the well-known series House of Cards.
You know, and Sam, Spacey was set to make a comeback this year starring in 2 new films. What impact do you think that will have, these allegations will have on his new projects?
Well, a comeback might overstate it. I think he was employed again. These are foreign movies. One was shot in Italy. It'll be interesting. Kevin Spacey is a man of enormous talent, but obviously has been involved in a lot of things that are extraordinarily distasteful to film audiences, TV audiences. I think it would be hard-pressed to imagine Kevin Spacey coming back in a significant way unless there is some way to repudiate these charges. So far, he's not made any effort to do that. And if he is tried and convicted in the English court, there are potential penalties. I don't know precisely what those penalties could be, but I think the ultimate penalty in a professional sense, I don't think we will see him hired on a frequent basis, at least in the near future.
Yeah, so, you're saying you don't want to call this a comeback, just more that, Spacey was again working. The fact that these were 2 foreign films, do you think there's maybe a different tolerance level for potential sexual misconduct in foreign film markets versus Hollywood?
Boy, that's an interesting question and sort of a loaded question. I think there are certain mores that are different in different territories, age gaps and things of that nature. But I think the idea that these were sexual assaults that were non-consensual really wouldn't fly anywhere. So I think it's going to be problematic for Kevin Spacey to secure new employment as these charges hang over him anywhere in the world, in Europe or here.
And Sam, we do want to mention, you've interviewed Spacey a number of times. From your experience, what are your thoughts on Spacey?
Well, it's one of these local boy initially makes good. Kevin Spacey went to high school here at Chatsworth High. His classmate, Val Kilmer, an extraordinary class of real talents. American Beauty, House of Cards, Kevin Spacey, Unusual Suspects, has a fantastic resume. And I don't think people were widely aware, I was not widely aware, of this other, what we'll describe as dark side of constant unwanted sexual advances and apparently a participation in non-consensual activities. So that really, unfortunately, sort of sullies and sours a guy who certainly is well regarded for his talent, but talent doesn't alone make up for this kind of behavior. It certainly doesn't. It's disappointing at the very least.
All right, Sam Rubin live for us in Hollywood. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.